Freddie Roach. Wearing red, official weight 145, 3/4 pounds. His professional record:
7 victories, 38 wins by knockout. He's the fighting pride of the Philippines. A rubber 8 division world champion, the reigning and defending 2-time WBO.
From Sarangani Province, Philippines, tonight he is the challenger, the legendary, the challenger, the fighting pride of the Philippines, 8-time world champion.
Round of boxing for the WBO welterweight championship of the world.
Manny Pacquiao.
Across the ring, the defending world champion, fighting out of the red corner, wearing pink trunks with blue and gold trim, joining us from the beautiful city of San Antonio, Texas. He weighed in at 139 and 1/2 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 26 wins, no losses, 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making the second defense of his title, ladies and gentlemen, here is the undefeated, reigning and defending WBA super lightweight champion of the world, introducing Mario El Azteca.
They said he was finished. They said he was too old, too slow, too far removed from the brutal rhythm of championship-level boxing. At 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao had nothing left to prove. He was already a legend, a world champion in 8 divisions, a global icon, a fighter who had battled and beaten some of the greatest names in boxing history. But on the night of July 13th, 2025, inside a roaring MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Pacquiao wasn't fighting for legacy. He was fighting to remind the world that greatness never fades. It evolves. Across from him stood Mario Barrios, the younger, fresher, taller fighter, backed by experts and analysts who were already preparing to crown him the next star of the welterweight division. But what happened inside that ring shocked everyone. Because in just a few rounds, the old lion roared one more time, and the world stood still. From the moment the first bell rang, the energy shifted. Barrios entered the ring with a confident swagger. He had every physical advantage: height, reach, youth, and momentum. But what he didn't have was the experience that comes from decades of war. Pacquiao's movement was sharp. His feet, though older, still danced with purpose. He didn't waste energy. He didn't chase. He studied, calculated, tested Barrios' timing and spacing. And then he attacked. A left hand to the body. A quick right upstairs. Then a pivot. It wasn't just boxing, it was poetry. Barrios tried to impose his size early, working the jab and throwing heavy shots. But none of them found their mark. Pacquiao slipped and countered, finding angles no one else in the division could replicate. The commentators, at first cautious in their praise, began to shift. He still got it, they murmured. This isn't a comeback. This is vintage Manny. And then, in round 3, came the turning point. Pacquiao read it, ducked under, and then launched a blistering straight left that rocked Barrios' head back like a whip. The crowd gasped. Barrios stumbled. Pacquiao pounced. By round 4, the narrative had flipped. Barrios was on the back foot. His corner urged him to reset, stay disciplined, use the jab. But discipline fades quickly when pain is involved. And Pacquiao was digging deep. Every punch had weight. Every feint had meaning. It was like watching a masterclass in controlled aggression. And Barrios, despite all his talent, looked like a student trying to survive finals week with a broken pencil. The 5th round saw Barrios try to fight back. He threw more combinations, pushed Pacquiao back with a flurry. For a moment, it looked like he was gaining momentum. But then, like he had done so many times in the past, Pacquiao used that aggression against him. Barrios walked into a perfectly timed right hook that landed flush on the temple. His legs buckled. He backed up into the ropes. Pacquiao didn't rush. He stalked him, methodical, cold, surgical. Round 6 began, and the crowd knew something was coming. The chants grew louder. Manny, Manny, filled the arena like an anthem of defiance. Barrios came out cautious, his guard high, his eyes wary. He circled left, then right, but he couldn't shake the feeling Pacquiao was closing in. Midway through the round, Barrios threw a looping left to the body. Pacquiao slipped it and stepped inside with a vicious uppercut. It snapped Barrios' head back. He staggered again, and then it happened. The knockout. Pacquiao fainted low. Barrios dropped his hands just slightly, and like lightning, Manny uncorked a left cross that detonated on Barrios' jaw. The sound echoed. Barrios collapsed. His legs folded beneath him like paper. The referee rushed in, but the outcome was clear. Out erupted. The arena shook. The world had just witnessed the impossible. A 46-year-old Pacquiao knocking out a prime, undefeated contender. As Barrios lay on the canvas, blinking in disbelief, Pacquiao walked to the corner, lifted his hands, and smiled. It wasn't arrogance. It wasn't celebration. It was relief, a quiet, "I told you so" to everyone who had written him off. In the post-fight interview, his words were humble. "I'm not here to prove anything. I just love boxing. I love the fans. And as long as I can do it, I'll give everything I have." The boxing world was left stunned. Social media exploded. Fans across the globe posted clips of the knockout from every angle. Old-school legends praised the performance. Young fighters watched in awe. Even critics admitted Pacquiao hadn't just beaten Barrios, he had turned back the clock. And it wasn't luck. It wasn't a fluke. It was skill, timing, brilliance. In the aftermath, Barrios was graceful. "He's a legend for a reason," he said. "I came in thinking I was ready, but I've never been hit like that before." It was an honor to share the ring with him. Promoters scrambled to talk about what was next. Could Pacquiao go for another title? Would he face Crawford or Spence in a farewell mega fight? Or would he walk away on top? A perfect ending to an unmatched career? For now, Manny didn't answer. He just thanked the crowd, embraced his team, and disappeared into the tunnel, leaving behind a stunned Barrios, a buzzing crowd, and a reminder to the world: legends don't fade. They finished strong. In the electric atmosphere of Las Vegas, the crowd roared in anticipation. The date was July 13th, 2025, a night destined to be etched into boxing history. Under the dazzling lights of the T-Mobile Arena, two warriors stepped into the ring. Manny "Pac-Man" Pacquiao, the living legend from the Philippines, and Mario "El Azteca" Barrios, the hungry, younger lion from Texas. For many, it was a clash of generations. For others, it was a spectacle they never imagined would happen. But for those who witnessed it live, it was nothing short of unforgettable. Pacquiao, 46 years old, had defied all expectations simply by showing up. After decades of dominance and a retirement that had seemed final, he had returned once more. Not for money, not for pride, but for legacy. He had heard the whispers. He's too old. He can't keep up. Barrios is too strong, too fast. And perhaps, deep inside, even Pacquiao had some doubts. But none of that showed on his face as he made his walk to the ring, draped in the Philippine flag, eyes locked in with that familiar look of icy determination. He had come not just to fight, but to win. Across the ring stood Mario Barrios, a 29-year-old powerhouse with speed, reach, and momentum on his side. The former WBA super lightweight champion had bulked up, trained relentlessly, and promised a statement win. "I will retire Pacquiao for good," he had said in the build-up. And for the first two rounds, it looked like he might do just that. The opening bell rang, and the first round was a chess match. Barrios used his height advantage and reach to pepper Pacquiao with long jabs, circling and staying out of range. Pacquiao, ever the patient predator, bobbed and weaved, looking for an opening. The crowd roared with every feint, every slip, every glancing blow. Barrios was cautious, but his youth showed in flashes of aggression. A crisp 1-2 landed clean on Pacquiao's chin, drawing a gasp from the crowd. The legend simply nodded and smiled. Round one went.